You may as well start with Andrew getting this extension. What do you think that says about the organization's view of him?
I think it's a smart move. Look, we know he's talented. Everybody is saying he's the heir apparent, but performance will dictate. Look, you're going to sign a kid up who has value, and good job by Craig. Locking him up, an asset, and then he will still have to perform.
And along those same lines, Steph has played well. There's no reason to think that his job's necessarily in jeopardy. But do you come into this with an open mind that that Andrew can get some spot starts here and there, or even more than that?
Well, we said that with Cleveland when he was here. We've said it, in other moments. Has it really manifested itself? I think a lot of the absences of Steph in goal for whatever reason was, the main reason for getting Cleveland and Andrew starts, Open Cup games. Yeah, we've always been in the past giving that to this number 2. But we'll see. I mean, as long as Steph's playing at a high level, Andrew will have to be a little patient.
Speaking of the Open Cup, what is the approach as far as the lineup goes?
Well, it got a little trickier with the injuries that we took. So we'll balance, a couple of starters sprinkled in. Guys that have played a lot of MLS minutes will be in there, and then one or two young guys, one or two deserving young guys.
Speaking of those injuries, it seemed like Guillermo Andrade went out in that game. Is he all right? What's the status on him?
A couple weeks.
A couple of weeks?
What's the injury?
I'll give that after we get the MRI results. Give you more information.
So it could be more severe, or it's just exactly what the injury is?
I'll tell you more after the MRI.
How's Pedro Vidal?
Very good. He's chomping at the bit to play.
He was a partial participant today, right? Or full participant? What would you call that today?
He was full in with the group that's going to play tomorrow.
How difficult it is to just watch how fun it is to watch him play, and then also know that you have to carefully put him in,
They have a plan. We have a plan for Pedro, and we're sticking to it.
Brotilio Rodriguez was also here. How's he doing?
Good. Closer. He might be in full training next week.
And Reed looks like he's
full training.
Were you happy with what you saw from him in the last game?
Yeah. I mean, look, the kid was rusty. Hadn't played, 5-6 months. So it was fine to get him back some legs underneath.
You mentioned there were a couple injuries. What was the other injury that complicates things?
Nathan.
Oh, Nathan. Okay.
Yaimar.
Yeah. So there wasn't two from this last game?
No.
Just Nathan and...
Just the line. You asked me about the lineup for this game in particular. And it might have looked a little different had we had Nathan and Yaimar.
Right, so like point 5. What do you like about Stuart Hawkins' game? What do you want to see when he eventually plays for the club? If he does, what do you want to see?
Well, smart, never quit, good effort. The kid's already shown a lot of that at Defiance. I think he's getting closer. He's getting a lot of good minutes there. But playing against a next level of opponent, that's where we have to try and see what he's going to do tomorrow. And, let's see.
With the difficulties at that position and how well Josh played for DC and maybe some of his characters, could he be a potential center back in case of emergency type situation?
Sure. Wouldn't rule that out, Nico.
Apologies if somebody had asked this already, but this is the 10-year anniversary of the U.S. Open Cup that you guys won. I mean, your thoughts on that in general?
Well, the Open Cup victories started this franchise in the MLS era off very well. It served us well, got us in the Champions League, gave us years of Champions League experience which helped us. There's a lot of fond memories here. Some of the road trips we had to take. Even the USL team had a pretty good US run in Open Cup in 2008. Played against Oswaldo Alonso, Charleston when they made it to the final. So a lot of history. So that's exciting.
And having been at the USL level and competed for one of these, what is the mindset of playing at that level, going up against the top tier teams?
Well, the lower level teams always, get up for it. They're the underdogs. I'm sure the coach is messaging that. I used to do the same thing. But it's up to us to make them understand that that's a good Louisville team. And it's even. When the referee blows the whistle, there's no favorite, no underdog. It's two teams that are going to be going out and trying to win the game.
You mentioned after the game that you kind of wanted to review the tape before you can assess how well the team played. What are your thoughts after watching the game again on how your team played against LA?
Well, it's always the same, Nico. It's sport, like I said afterwards. It's feeling, it's emotional, frustration, some of those things, not getting pushing it across the finish line. There was, again, kind of typical of our season, a lot of good build-up from here to here. But those final moments just were missing. And it's not just one guy. Can't put the finger on, Jordan gets a lot of, whatever. Raul had a couple chances he needs to do better with. Leo Chu could have been the hero. I mean, that's maybe our best chance. Christian. It's the team. It's everybody together. We just need that, like I said, belief. We need someone to break the ice. And then we'll start scoring some more goals.
I mean, that's got to be difficult, right? Because you can work on ball progression, you can work on getting the ball to certain places, but ultimately just finishing kind of goes to the players a little bit. It's just the moment in games that...
Well, look, Nico, it's my job to get everything right. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, glass half full, glass half empty. It's my job to get Jordan Morris confident in his ability to score goals because I know it's there. It's my job to keep Raul happy and, poke him when I need to. It's my job to get De La Vega mixed into the group as soon as he's available. It's my job to get Reed ready to go. It's my job to get Christian to play at the level I know he has. Talented player like Leo Chu. My job to get him to perform like he did last year. So it's a little bit of give and take. I obviously can't jump on the field and score for them, but we have to make sure that they have the tools to be successful.
What have you seen from John Bell in training? It seems like he didn't get a lot of time early on, but all of a sudden it seems like
he's going to get some time. He's going to get some time, Jeremiah. Look, if you're taking the DC United performance, that was great. I mean, he came on, exceeded everybody's my expectations, exceeded those, played really well. So now he's raised the bar, and he has to now be consistent at that. But he's a little bit of a quiet kid. I mean, you guys have been around a little bit. He's a little quiet, but hopefully his actions will be good tomorrow night.
Open Vargas played a great game. Going back, it just seems like he was really, really good at that right wing position. Does that start to create some problems for you in terms of lineups?
For sure. Because we never really had a Christian replacement. Remember last year we were always talking about we really didn't have anybody on the roster. Well, he's developed into someone that can do a little bit more. Love the way he glides past defenders, takes space, is able to play balls in. A couple passes, a little bit too far, a little bit too hard, but the kid's got good potential at a couple of different positions.
It seems like his defending is what really seems to have improved. Is that fair to say this season maybe?
He still needs to be a little better than that. He's tenacious. The one tackle he chased backs, stuff like that reminds me of some of the stuff that Ozzy's done, guys like that. But he needs to still be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, but he's only 18.
You mentioned good potential to come in positions. Do you try to kind of spread him across a couple of seasons?
No.
Or do you just try to
No, we'll locate him once we get everybody healthy. Look, I need to get to a starting lineup that's consistent. We haven't got there yet. We're working on it.
Albert came out pretty early in this last game. Was that what's to be read into that decision? Is that just you weren't getting what you wanted from him?
The team wasn't playing well, and we needed to make some changes. So you can lump JP in there. Those are guys that traditionally I wouldn't have subbed off, but we needed to change something.
Anything else for Coach?
What have you seen out of Jordan Morris this season? in general terms, I mean, he's had some good moments, but he does seem to be lacking maybe some confidence. What have you seen out of him this season, particularly?
You know, let me defend him a little bit. Everybody is talking about his body language, and that's just a sign of frustration, and we're working on him with that. He still is super talented in a lot of different ways. It maybe doesn't appear on a score sheet, and I think we need to give him some credit for that. Plus, you couple that with, you know, he's played center forward, he's played left wing, he's played right wing. You want to talk about consistency in lineups, you got to give the kid a little bit of credit there. He does it without no complaint. Hey, whatever it takes for the team to win. But sometimes getting into a rhythm in one spot is better as well. So I think once Pedro's back and we kind of solidify a lineup, you know, that'll be better for the group and it'll be better for Jordan.